Hello and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to go over death pile and why it's important to flush some of that out for whatever reason, why it accumulated, for whatever reason, why that stuff was never plucked out, taken pictured and listed. That's the ever-going mystery on why the death pile even accumulates. This video in particular is I don't run a death pile to the degree some other resellers do that, you can find out. It could be you, it could be people that you see on social media, on YouTube, about them talking about death piles, on how many items they have on theirs, and then they make a video about clearing some of it out. So this video is those last two parts of that's me. I had a death pile of 25 items. One did not get listed because I did not take pictures of it. So 24 got listed. And I was surprised when I start looking this up and I still have the pages open of the final item from my death pile, from my media death pile, but since that's primarily what any of the other first class non-media stuff that I have, the smalls, will usually get listed in batches. And that's the same type of batches that I list my media in. However many items I come back with from stores, thrift stores, I can go to 2 to 6 or 7 or 8, or sometimes I don't get to more than 8 often. But if I come back with 20 items to 50 to whichever, and I know that I want to list by basis every single day, at least 5 days a week, I want to put up 20 to 25 a day of new listings from the items I just got. So I will allow CDs to stack up. I will allow DVDs to stack up. Let's say I go out in between 2 days, however it is. I'm still putting up listings. It doesn't matter what time. I get my pictures during the day and I use natural sunlight. When I list, that can vary. But if I have 25 sealed DVDs, I'll just get pictures of those. And then while I was out shopping, I picked up other oddball media, whatever it may be. If it's not in a CD-shaped case or it's not in a DVD-shaped case, then it just gets put in a pile. Now, I don't let that pile grow. I just had some left over from shopping throughout this week that makes 25, and I'm just going to call it my death pile for the sake of this video. So the importance of flushing out death pile, if mine just added up like this, I can imagine the thousands and thousands of dollars that people have sitting in their death piles of whatever the items may be. So I went ahead and listed 25 things. Now, granted, a couple of them were items that I just got a couple days ago that just weren't listed at all, or I just didn't get any pictures, so it just came in time to do that. So if we go to the 24 that I have, that's $1,100 pre going on sale. So this will probably come down to like $700, give or take some average change. And I will clip this video, and I will, when everything's listed and this video is done, I will show how I put all that stuff on sale and the final number of what this will be. So all the death pile items that I have, even some of the ones just from the other day, some I even had pictures of from back in August, and those pictures are going to be this. These are all from August. This is from maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe even longer, maybe 3 weeks ago. That was already pictured sitting in a row, just waiting for me to just add them during my listing days. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. These books I got these maybe a week ago and paid $2 combined for all three of them. Again, that's the Habitat for Humanity in Eastlake, $2 a bag. And so I'll go in there once every couple of weeks, and sometimes I'll end up with a bunch. And that's actually where I got all these clock books from. And there are some other clock manuals and repairs and stuff like that in my solds of recent. Now, if you're watching this video 2 years from now, it's not going to matter. But as of now, if you go to my recents, you can see that some of these books, maybe, but still some of these clock books have trickled out being sold. I ended up with a box, maybe 20 plus pounds of other random ones that weren't really worth me listing individually per the size or the sale rate or the value. So those all just went in a lot. I'm not going to sell a 3-pound clock repair book for $12. Although I have it, although it be $2, but one that sells in two that sell 1 year, I'm not gonna sit there and wait on $2. It's too much room, too much hassle. I already looked it up. It's not worth it to me. It's in a pile to lot up. When it's all said and done, take a couple pictures of a lot and just type in there. This is just basic pictures. They're in general good condition, or whatever you may want to lot up. And then eventually that got auctioned off. I didn't make much. It was like $80, but there's maybe 25 books in there for the 25 pounds. Some bigger ones, smaller ones. Either way, these 8-tracks I got maybe these 3 8-tracks I got maybe a couple weeks ago. This one maybe a couple weeks ago. This maybe 3-4 days ago. Had it pictured. So some of these I already had, and these I've had for, I don't know, 2 months. Maybe these creek cut things. And these I just got yesterday. So for the most part, this is a cumulative death pile list. Or listed, I should say. So the point of this video, short video, point of this video is to just help instill in whomever needs that motivation. Get to that death pile. Pick out whatever. It's either everything, 2 things, just don't make it nothing, and pull something out and get some of that stuff done. Now, well, you can get some of it now, and hopefully a couple of things may sell before Christmas. Now, there's also post-Christmas buyers. Don't get me wrong. The point is, it doesn't matter what the justification is. It's get some of that stuff off that pile, get it pictured, get it listed, get it gone. And as the adage is, the more you list, the more you sell. I'm going to pick up when all this stuff is on sale. And welcome back. So I'm going to finish this up on the sales. I'm going to show you on where the total value of the listed that I put up today, that was essentially death pile minus $20, $30 worth of stuff. But it's not really death pile because some of it I only had for a week or 2. But what I buy and list, I typically don't end up with death piles. Anyhow, the concept is just stuff that was left over, hasn't been listed, to just kind of get pictures and get it listed. Stuff that sits around is dying. So death pile. So I went ahead and put everything on the sales. And so I've explained this. I do a 39 top 200. And then next top 200 is 37. And then next all the way down. And it can go all the way down to 9%. It just happens to be 13, which helps a little because that discounts the cheaper priced stuff that I have. So I sell a lot of lower stuff. So when I end up with 3,000, 3,300 listings again, and it still stays at 39 as the highest, the lowest tiered priced stuff is only going to be 10% or 9%. But it still doesn't matter. It's still having that lower price stuff, which you try not to have. Either way, the way on how this math always works out, when I'm either pricing or doing repricing, each time the price comes down, it's only about 5% of the total value of what it was listed at before. So 2, 3, 4, 5 can come down, well, a little more than 5%. It'll go to 2, 1, 2, 3, but it'll fall in a different tier bracket sometimes to where then really it's only 2% off. So there's, my own mathematical reasoning behind that. However, the point is, with now putting all of this that I just listed, the death pile stuff on on the sale, as I always have stuff listed, and you'll see I like this sequential, and I do the sequential all the time for almost everything. It just makes sense. It's always going to be best offers. It's always going to have a 5% coupon. It's always going to be this. Somebody's going to send an offer, so on and so forth. So the price is just never going to be exactly. Am I going to get $81.12 or am I going to accept $78? It's always going to vary. So where it falls in at, it's close enough to what things are listed for. And I typically price mine a little higher or within the list to when you're looking at currently listed. And I narrow it down to buy it now, narrow it down to US. Whatever the price is, pretty much to the left of where the sold checkbox is, whatever the price is directly to the right, if it falls within reason of the sell-through rate of there's 10 listed and 3 have sold, well, then I can't really go all the way down to that sold point, because either way, where I will price things, I have my methods and it seems to work in some degree. So now if I hit refresh, because these have been on sale, now I started, the sale and everything a couple minutes ago, probably 3-4 minutes ago, hit refresh, and 700, what I say, a little over 7. I've been doing these 25 or 50 listings. I know the math. I know roughly where it falls at. And that's assuming everything did go on sale. So I do have to check this to make sure there's a red hash that goes through it, because sometimes it won't take in the actual, in the sale, or more immediately. Sometimes some of them are delayed. So all of these are hashed correctly. I'll do one more just to make sure something late got picked up. Sell faster, add best offer. I'll add my best offer, and I'm not going to show you how much I add because that wouldn't make sense to me to show you, because then anytime you guys see stuff, you're like, oh, so I'm not going to show that. But that's the point of the death pile. That's the point of the death pile video. I thought it would be a good idea, since that's what I was going with. And as of right now, it's almost 2 p.m. Eastern. I can still get my socks and shoes on and go run down to a variation of thrift store. Savers is 50% off today. So yeah, I can go to the Goodwill. I can go to a different one 25 minutes down the road, or just nowhere. Well, I don't want to do that because now I'm out of stuff because I just listed all my leftovers. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please keep coming back. Like, share, subscribe. And that's my first time saying that in a plug.